it play and call it work.
Hey there, Wargamers, Josh and Steve here to give you the Deathwatch Codex first impressions. So I've just managed to get my grubby little hands on this and give it a read through. And we're going to do this pretty similar to the way that we did the Dark Angels first impressions video.
I don't remember how we did that.
Well, I didn't read the book, and I sat in and basically tried to give you counterpoints to the stuff that you were saying.
That's exactly what's happening today.
It's the educated versus uneducated, because hopefully some of the questions that you guys have that I'm not going to answer.
Bet you can guess which one was uneducated. Couldn't even say it. Couldn't even say it.
So yeah, we're gonna flip through the book, and this is, by all means, just a first impressions. This isn't like a full review or anything like that. We're going to talk about the changes. So we're going to flip right over to page 64.
Follow along.
And let's see what we got in the new book. First thing that kind of stands out to me is the updated list for special issue ammunition. So what they've done is, the major change on this is that they've added in all of the Primaris standard bolt weapons. So not like your assault bolters or things like that.
Okay.
So your bolt rifles, your absolver bolt pistol, carbines, heavy bolt pistol, stalker pattern bolt gun. The other interesting one that they didn't have before is storm bolters get it now.
That's nuts.
That's actually kind of nice. So that's a big one for me.
Are your Terminators good then?
I think my Terminators might be able to do a thing.
Oh!
there's finally one squad of Terminators.
No!
Drop in and do a thing. Even because I can mix Terminators into the squad, so I can just have, that one guy in the squad that gives them a Fearless and has a Storm Bolter.
But you have like the 10 deep striking Terminators with the Kraken bolts.
Sure.
Firing 4 shots apiece at -1?
Yeah. You know what? With the range I'm going to be at, I can probably just do the Vengeance rounds.
What's the Vengeance round?
It's AP -2. Because it's 6-inch less range. But a Storm Bolter's...
But your rapid fire would go down to, I can do math, 9? Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
So you couldn't do that.
Oh yeah, because for the drop.
But either way, after turn 1, you're still good. Or after the initial turn. That's good.
So pretty happy with that. Of course, or actually,
wait, is this? Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Is this just infantry?
It's only the infantry have it, right? Vehicles don't have that.
So like, okay, all right. So you're not getting Vengeance rounds on your Land Raider.
No.
Okay. Or your drop pod.
Correct, yeah. What it needs to have is the actual special ammunition rule, special issue ammunition rule. And as we look through the units, you might pick up on one that I missed, but I don't believe any vehicles do.
Okay.
And then, of course, the special issue ammunition, nothing's changed. For those that aren't familiar, you got the Dragonfire, which is add 1 to the hit rolls when targeting a unit that's in cover. Hellfire always wounds on 2 up except against vehicles and Titanics.
That's good too.
Kraken Bolt is add 3 to the range of a pistol or 6 to whatever else it is. And improve the AP by 1 to a maximum of -2.
This is interesting.
And then Vengeance rounds is the same thing, but you subtract 3 from the range of pistols, or 6 from the range of any other weapons, and improve the AP of the attack by 2 to a maximum of AP -3.
So you can drop down. I'm stuck on one spot. I love Terminators. You drop down with Kraken Bolt with a 15-inch rapid fire.
Yes.
4D shots.
Yep.
AP 1.
Yep.
Or just wounding on 2s.
Or yeah, depending on what you want to shoot at, whatever you want to light up, you can make it happen.
Yeah, that's going to get work done.
Now, flipping over to the next page here, Deathwatch War Gear list. The only thing I could find that they added in was a Terminator combi weapon list. So you've got access to all the different combi weapons there.
Okay.
We'll double check when we get to the actual Terminators themselves, but I believe the only models that have access to that list are characters in Terminator Realm.
And special issue ammunition works on combi. Yeah, it does.
It works on the bolter component of the combi weapon, correct. So, again, pretty handy dandy.
Why can't we all have special issue ammunition?
It's the one thing we get.
I see Watchmasters. That looks different and unique to you guys.
So a Watchmaster is, for all intents and purposes, just the
Chapter
Master equivalent.
Oh, Chapter Master, okay.
He's got 2 up save built in. I don't know if Chapter Masters do. I assume they do.
Probably.
The thing about him is he still doesn't have any options for war gear. He has the Guardian Spear, which is, it shoots like a bolter, but it's 2 damage, and AP -1 built in.
Yeah, it's rapid fire 1, strength 4, -1, 2 damage. And it can use, I saw over here.
It uses all the special issue ammunition, yep.
That's really good.
So, pretty happy with that. There's literally no changes to him. In melee, it swings, it's strength +1, AP -3, D3 damage.
Not bad.
He's solid for stats. I'm happy. I'll still continue to
4
do Watch
attacks
Master.
and 6 wounds. Can't complain.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Watch Captain Artemis. The only thing they changed on Artemis is before his Hellfire Extremis, the flamer part was wounding on 4s, which seemed kind of lame. Now it goes back to wounding on 2s unless it's against a vehicle, which it wounds on 6s.
I believe it's pronounced the Hellfire Extremis.
I think you're right.
I think I'm often right.
He's 130 points. I mean, he's nothing fantastic. I don't know if I would take him over a regular Watch Captain.
He's Watch Captain equivalent?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
He's decent. And then jump over to the actual Watch Captain. Same thing. I can't see any changes here. Other than the fact that, you know what, I can't remember before if they told you to take a regular captain, call him a Watch Captain. But he, of course, has the special issue ammunition. I think there was a couple characters in the index that...
Well, he has the Xenophase Blade.
The Xenophase Blade
as an option. Not has, but as an option.
So that's one of the ones. It's a Deathwatch unique weapon. It's not a new one. It's a power sword that makes you re-roll successful invulns against it.
It's on the front of the book. It's a Necron sword.
Definitely not a Necron sword.
Definitely not a Necron sword.
But again, solid stats. Happy with him. Watch Captain and Terminator armor. I believe he was one of the ones before that really didn't have any warrior options for whatever reason. But they've opened him up to allow him to take items from the Terminator combi weapon list, which is all your different combi weapons. And then he can replace his Relic Blade with a Power Sword, Storm Shield, or an item from the Terminator melee weapon list.
Or a Relic Blade.
Yeah. Well, he comes with Relic Blade.
He comes with a Relic Blade?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So it's built into him.
Which is a good weapon. I'd stick with that for the most part.
Yeah, I think the way that they had him before is that you really could only... I don't think you could swap the warrior on him for whatever reason, but they've lifted that silly restriction. That's one of the ones I used to go, like, I don't know why you'd want something else.
Getting all the index out fast. There were a few, things
There's
behind.
just some weird stuff. Nothing standing out here for me, though. I mean, it's all standard Space Marine stats is what I'm seeing.
Yep.
If we flip over, we get the Primaris Watch Captain, who, again, is the exact same as the regular Primaris Captain, except for he's got access to the special issue ammunition, and, yeah, I'm not seeing anything different there. Your Librarian can finally take a jump pack again.
Yeah.
I don't know why before they said he couldn't take one, but, he can now.
You can now.
Same thing, Librarian Terminator armor. All the same stuff. All the same options. Your Primaris Librarian, nothing special there. Your Chaplain, specifically now can take a Power Fist. That's one of those ones, again, I complained. Like, I didn't use Chaplains, and if I was going to use one, I don't know if I would give him a Power Fist.
But why did you not have the option like everybody else?
Well, it specifically said in the index, he can't take a Power Fist.
Because there's nothing like, okay, Josh may have a black mug in his hand, and I don't have no use for a black mug, but he can't be the only one with a black mug. I want one too.
Well, that's the thing, is that you probably don't want it, but if it said, Steve, you can't have a
That's the thing,
mug.
I want that black mug.
Yeah. It just didn't make sense.
I want that mug.
And if I gave you no reason why...
That would make me even more upset.
Because you're Steve.
It's the worst reason.
So again, the same here, your Chaplain Terminator armor. The big deal for me is that all these Storm Bolters that the Terminators come with, they're all special issue ammunition now.
Yeah, that's really, really good.
That'll key into one of the relics we're going to talk about later.
Okay.
They'll kind of make that. Okay, so flip over the page. Here's the meat and potatoes of everything. Your veterans. So your regular Space Marine veterans. I had a lot of concerns when,
These are your troop choices.
These are your troop choices. When I started hearing about the book of our veterans going to be invalid from now on. But they didn't really change much of anything stats-wise. They are quite literally, I believe, the exact same as they were in the index. So 5 veterans. A Watch Sergeant can take the place of a veteran. A Black Shield can take the place of a veteran. And then 5 additional models in any combination of veterans, Terminators, Bikers, and Vanguard vets.
So what was your concern, and why do you think they're fine now?
Okay, so I think the concern was what are they going to do with... Because it's going to be mostly talking about the points. Are they going to change something about them, or are they going to leave them super expensive and make the Primaris Marines super cheap?
I hear you.
That was kind of my thing. But the veterans, I liked the way that they worked before, and they left them alone. They didn't change anything other than points, which we'll talk about later. But then we jump over to the intercessors, and this is I think this is the big new thing for Deathwatch. So now you can take a squad of intercessors, 1 intercessor sergeant and 4 intercessors, and then 5 additional models in any combination of Hellblasters, Inceptors, Reavers, and Aggressors. Excuse me. So a couple benefits here. Very much like the veteran squad, if you take other models, your squad gets something. So this is the first squad I can think of as well in this edition that has mixed toughness. Because there's T5s mixed in with T4s.
Ooh.
And they've just said you use the majority toughness, and if there isn't a majority, it's the Deathwatch player's choice what toughness he uses. They've kept it nice and simple there.
Okay. Where does it say that?
That is
Touching on-
mixed unit right there. So as you're reading through that...
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, yeah. Looking here... Your Inceptor has the crushing charge, so finish the charge move within an inch of an enemy unit on a 6, suffers a mortal wound.
Yeah, whatever.
That's just per Interceptor, that's nothing. He doesn't give that to the entire squad. You've got the Inceptor Strike, which is kind of nice, because it gives the entire squad the capability to fall back and still shoot as if they have the fly keyword.
That's so good.
That's pretty handy dandy.
That's like one of the greatest rules in the game right now.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it definitely is. Your terror troops. So if you bring a single Reaver, he gives the
-3 leadership.
-1 leadership to anybody within 3 inches of the squad.
-1.
It's not just him. Of him or anybody in
I'd
the
bring him for that.
It's relatively cheap to add a Reaver in.
Yep, I'd bring him for that.
You got your Firestorm, so your aggressors can fire twice if they remain stationary. Same as Overwatch. That's the exact same as standard aggressors. But they also give the squad Relentless Advance. So a unit of intercessors that includes any aggressors don't suffer any penalty to their hit rolls for advancing and firing assault weapons or for moving and firing heavy weapons.
Keep going. Hand me that book.
Just in case we brought this one too. So that means that if you've got all of your assault weapons in that squad, your assault bolters and the assault plasma weapons that are available, you don't suffer the penalty for moving and...
You're going to want some Reavers. Bolt carbines get special issue ammunition.
They do. There's a point cost thing. They are kind of expensive to take bolt carbines in this book.
Well, I mean, Assault 2
Right.
with...
Special issue ammunition. And that's the thing is you can take your... I think there's a... What's the assault version of the bolt rifle? I think there is one, right? Or am I
It's
lying?
the bolt carbine, no? Or is that... Isn't that the bolt...
The bolt carbine is for the Reaver.
I know, I think
There's
that's the...
auto bolt rifle
That what it is?
for the intercessors, I think. Yeah, right here. Auto bolt rifle's assault 2.
Yeah.
So if you take a single aggressor in there, you can advance that squad all you want and not suffer penalties for advancing and shooting with full access to the special issue ammunition. For those wondering, the
Heavy bolt pistols.
your Inceptor weapons, the assault bolters, don't get special issue ammunition.
No,
They're still-
that makes sense. Those things are crazy good on their own.
They're just fine on their own, exactly.
Yeah.
So this opens up a lot of practical flexibility of what you want the squad to look like.
You just said how expensive are these Reavers with their Assault 2? Well, I guess you do on any of them.
Yeah, with any of these different ones.
Can you take just pure Reavers?
No, you can't take just pure Reaver.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Later. Oh, yeah.
Because they can also grav shoot in with 2 shots apiece, 24-inch range.
Yep.
Amazing board control. Actually, we'll get to that. Sorry, carry on.
There's a lot of options.
I'm seeing some things here that's very, very interesting.
Right. Which I'm intrigued with. So you got your mixed intercessor squad, which, again, a lot of tactical, flexible options. I think I would lean towards not using the heavy weapon versions of stuff, because just use the rapid fire stuff or the assault stuff and move around more. You know.
That's how you win this game, right? That's how you win 8th edition.
Yeah. So
Kill and move, kill and
now,
move.
Hellblasters don't give the squad a benefit.
Sure, they're pretty good. They don't need to.
But I think the offset, because my thing that I always disliked about Hellblasters is that there's no ablative wounds. Now you get ablative wounds.
Yeah.
In almost any configuration that you want. And again, you know, they've got their assault version of their plasma weapons, but you don't want to advance them and shoot because you know, it's easier to have them just die. Well, the aggressor helps with that.
I'm liking this book already.
It's intriguing.
I'm liking this book, yeah. Yeah.
So flip the page, you get your Primaris apothecary. We don't get access to regular apothecaries. I don't know why. Do I care? Not really. Your Venerable Dreadnoughts and your Dreadnoughts, Redemptor Dreadnoughts, they're just your standard Dreadnoughts. They do not have, I don't think any of them have the special issue ignition rule.
You do not get...
I'm limited on my weapons I can take. For
You don't get Ancients.
No, we don't get Ancients.
Okay.
So no banners, none of that stuff.
Have to have your apothecaries or Primaris and no Ancients. Interesting.
Again, it's one of those, like, I was never really super fussed about that. Because I wasn't going to use them anyways, I don't think. But it could have been nice.
Did you get lieutenants? Did we miss something?
No, there's no lieutenants, but there's a reason for it later on that I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, your Dreadnoughts, you're still limited to Assault Cannon, and the Dreadnought Heavy Weapon list is pretty limited. It is only Assault Cannon, Heavy Plasma Cannon, Twin Las Cannon.
All you want is Twin Las.
Right, I mean, like...
Maybe Assault, but Twin Las.
What weapons are we not... We can't take the Multi-Melta, who cares?
Yep.
You can't take the Auto Cannon. I don't know if you can normally, but again, who cares?
Yeah, because it doesn't have a bit.
Yeah.
In the plastic box.
You got the stuff that you want.
Yep.
And then your Redemptor Dreadnought, who's just
I
your
love
standard
that.
Redemptor Dreadnought.
I love him. He's not fantastic on the tabletop. He's a fantastic miniature. You don't like the miniature, do you?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of dopey looking.
That's why I love him.
Okay, so you've got your Terminators now. So, let's see. Up to 3 Terminators in the squad, and it's 1 to 4 Terminator. 1 to 4. It's 5 Terminators in a squad, and you can add up to additional 5 Terminators. And up to 3 can take replace their Stormbolter with a weapon from the Terminator Heavy Weapon list. And that is the... You got the Assault Cannon, Terminator Heavy Weapon list, Assault Cannon, Cyclone and Stormbolter, and your Heavy Flamer.
Yeah. Okay. So you make 5 Terminators.
Yes.
With 20 Kraken bolt shots and 6 missile shots.
Sure.
How many points? How many? No.
I've got mine marked in the back of the point differences between standard stuff and I think I've got actually that, but we've got. Oh no, we might need a different book. What are Terminators worth?
So we're looking at
31 points.
150, 155 for the 5 Terminators, and the Stormbolters. Where are you guys?
Now, for what it's worth, the other thing that they get over standard Terminators is because all Terminators are 2 attacks, leadership 8, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. They're fearless.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I have fearless Terminators too for Dark Angels, and it's nothing you care about that often.
You can also any model can replace its Power Fist or Power Sword with a weapon from the Terminator melee weapon list, which is, I believe, your standard list. But we also have access to a Power Fist with a built-in Meltagun. Just because. So if you want to get a Stormbolter and a missile launcher and a Meltagun and a Power Fist, sure.
You can do that?
You can make a squad of them, yeah. Because the Stormbolter is replaced by a Stormbolter and a missile launcher, and then the Power Fist is replaced by a Power Fist with a Meltagun. And so, again, if you wanted a squad of them, sure.
325 points for a squad of 5 with 3 Cyclones and Stormbolters. That's expensive.
Yeah.
That's really expensive.
It's a lot of firepower.
I think I would just do the Stormbolters. Because 175
it's good
for 5 with the Stormbolters.
Yeah, like,
Stormbolters are scary enough on their own.
But the point is, if you wanted to, you could. That also keys into, I think, a video that you talked about a while ago, which is power level.
Yep.
If you want to go power level, all these warrior options don't add any power to the Terminators, so if you're a power level player, this might be a crazy book for you. Because all these weapon options we're talking about don't cost any extra power.
So would you take a 5-man squad with 3 Cyclones and 5 Stormbolters, or a 10-man squad with just Stormbolters for close to the same points? I take 10. I just take 10 with Stormbolters. They're gonna hold. They're gonna kill. They're gonna take some. They're gonna take a bunch of mortal wounds.
I might rather do 2 5-man squads with the Stormbolters.
Yeah, there's always that.
But either way, yeah. So again, I'm not seeing anything special here. And so any model can replace the Power Fist.
What's that gauntlet called with a Meltagun?
I can't remember. I think it's like Gauntlet with a Meltagun.
Meltagun gauntlet.
The Terminator, it's Power Fist and Meltagun.
That's it.
That's actually what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's also worth saying, like,
That's expensive, yeah.
We didn't talk about it previously with the veterans, but those veterans have a huge list of war gear they can take. So
I think specialized ammunition is all you really need, though.
I think so, but if you want to throw a melta gun or a plasma gun or something else in the squad or combi weapons into the squad,
I don't think I would.
Yeah, unless you're a power level player.
Yeah.
But then, I guess if you're a power level player, everybody's going to have a combi something.
Well, you know what? Actually, if you're playing power level, everybody gets a combi something, and you always fire both profiles.
Yep.
Because you're going to...
Why not?
Why not? Plasma, don't supercharge, a plasma gun and Kraken bolt or whatever. Yeah.
So, and then the Terminators, obviously, any model can replace a Storm Bolter, a Power Sword, or Power Fist with 2 Lightning Claws or a Thunderhammer Storm Shield. So, it's the versatility to build your squads the way you want, which is what I like. I'm not saying it's a super powerful thing, but it's something that I enjoy with Deathwatch to be, you know, this is the backstory of this rando guy, and this is why he's armed the way he is. Cool. Jumping over to Reavers, they're your standard Reavers.
With special issue ammunition.
In their bolt carbine and heavy bolt pistol.
Let's see how expensive they are. 4 for the carbine.
Yeah, the carbine's expensive at 4 points.
Is it? I mean...
Well, normally it's free. And the heavy bolt pistols...
Okay, and so it's 5 points in weapons, and the Reaver himself is 18, so 24. That's right, do math. 23.
Yeah. But you can...
So it's 15, yeah, it's 15 points more in a Reaver squad.
You can
like
you can also take his heavy bolt pistol away and just give him a combat knife to not pay that 1 extra point for the heavy bolt pistol.
Okay.
If you wanted to.
Okay, so 110 points, plus the long... Oh, no, sorry, I think they're 90 points. I think, yeah, 90 points for Space Marines. They're going to be 110... for Deathwatch here, but I'd pay that 20 points for special ammunition.
Yeah, it gives a lot of versatility.
Give them their, what do you call them, grouse shoots.
Yep.
Drop in, and you run the table, 24-inch range, 2 shots apiece, 30-inch range for some of the for the good one.
And then 30-inch range if you want to shoot
with an AP.
You run around. Because the bolt, the bolt carbine doesn't have AP. The heavy bolt pistol would.
In my opinion, Reavers for Space Marines are useless.
Yep.
They don't have a role. I don't see the role. I don't see what they do that something else in the list doesn't do better.
Yep.
They seem amazing here.
So you can also, even if you kept the heavy bolt pistol, and let's say you got rid of the carbine, you didn't want to pay 4 points. The heavy bolt pistol.
I would take that carbine every time.
I would, but just to say, you know, if you're, I don't know, tight on points or whatever, the heavy bolt pistol's 12-inch range. If you fire the Kraken round, it becomes 15-inch range, strength 4, AP -2.
Yeah.
That's still not bad.
And you can use that in combat too, right? Or the shooting phase, like you fire that in, yeah.
Well, because when you get into combat, now you're obviously shorter range, so you're going to switch over to the Vengeance rounds, so you're AP -3.
That's true.
Not bad.
But I don't want these in combat. They don't have enough attacks. They don't do anything in combat.
No.
They're a combat squad that doesn't do anything good in combat. They are a running gun squad, and with 30-inch range assault guns, that's where I think we want to put your point. I would use these things.
Yep.
Every time, every game.
If we flip over, we got the aggressors there. I don't think they get anything special being in Deathwatch.
Nope, just being aggressors are enough.
Yeah, other than, do the regular Space Marines have the Relentless Advance?
Yep.
Okay, so then yeah.
Yep.
Nothing special. You got your Vanguard vets that you can buy.
Vanguard vets?
Standard Vanguard vets. You have, the Heavy Thunderhammer, which is kind of cool. They didn't change it.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd ever bring one for like 30 points. But it may be fun to bury one in a squad if you want to. Your bikers.
They got the Deathwatch Teleport Homer, which is something the Raven Wing should have got for the Deathwing.
Yep. Now, do you know how the Teleport Homer works?
Within 60, you just drop it and teleport within 60 enemy?
Well, okay, so at the beginning, when you deploy, you put it anywhere in your deployment zone?
Oh, I thought it worked the other way around.
No,
gotcha.
You put it anywhere in your deployment zone. If there's ever an enemy within 9, it goes away automatically, but you can't shoot at it.
Right.
And then if there's a squad that has 1 or more Terminators, they can teleport to it at the end of the movement phase and set up all models within 6 of it. And then it's removed. You don't pay any points for that. So that means that you can drop that squad in, light something up, and then next turn...
Is that once per game? Can you always do that?
You get 1 teleport homer per squad. and it can be used once per game.
Okay. So you can go drop a cheap Terminator squad somewhere to grab an objective that's way off in the corner that's not relevant in the game, and at least have them pop back and okay.
Yep. Or I mean, if somebody's getting close-ish to that, you can teleport, and because there's no restriction when you teleport in how close you are to an enemy squad.
That's interesting.
But I mean,
well, they can't do the 9 of it.
Within
yeah,
9,
yeah.
But you know, you're gonna end up within 6. I had it pop up once actually. I think playing against Phil.
Really?
Week, and it worked.
Hi, Phil.
So that worked. They got the special issue ammunition for their twin bolt guns, which is handy. Yeah. No real, the sergeant can take 2 items from the Deathwatch equipment list. Before, his only option was the power weapons, but now you can give him stuff from the Deathwatch equipment list. Actually, what's on the Deathwatch equipment list? Oh, okay. So he can take, you can give him a Stormbolter if you want, and he'll just fire 8 shots out of his gun. Get off my planet, Xenos! Go away!
Yep.
Actually, that's kind of funny. So that whole big list there is stuff you can take.
Yeah, I think a Stormbolter.
Up to 2 items.
I think a Stormbolter.
Well, you can give him... I'm trying to remember how this list works. Because you can give him 2 items. Yeah, you can give him, like, if you wanted to, you can give him a Stormbolter and a Thunderhammer or something.
Can I give him a Stormbolter and a Stormbolter?
No, because there's only 1 weapon to be chosen from that list there. Or 2 out of this. So you can take both of them out of this or do 1 here, 1 here.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, if you want to give him... Okay, cool. I just realized you could give him a...
Stormbolter. What's the next best one? I guess
you
it's
can give him a Flamer if you want.
Hand Flamer. You give him a Hand Flamer.
You can give him a
Hand Flamer and a Stormbolter. Goodbye, Gribblies.
Just go away. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of cool. And you do them in squads of 3 bikes to start and then up to 6 bikes total, same as before.
It's funny.
That's kind of neato.
I like them.
If we flip over, we got the Inceptors. Again, they're just standard Inceptors, nothing special.
Yep.
Same with your Hellblasters. They're the exact same as they were before. Your Land Raiders are there. I don't see anything new for them. They are the exact same.
Yep.
It still can't transport Primaris, of course. Nobody's Land Raiders can.
Crusader, Redeemer, all the same.
Yep. Razorbacks, Rhinos, Drop Pods. So
all the
we still
same.
have access to the Space Marine medium armor. Your Predators, your Vindicators.
Yeah, I don't need those.
I don't know, like a Pred could be nice, I guess, but I don't really care that much. You've got the Repulsor tank.
Yep.
It's your standard Repulsor.
You had to get it right, yeah.
And then the Corvus Blackstar. I was really hoping they were going to give it the ignores penalty for moving and shooting heavy, but they did not. I still don't mind the way it's point costed, though. If that makes sense.
Reroll hits of 1 against flies.
No, if it can't fly, the Auspex Array is what you're looking at, right?
Oh, cannot fly.
Yeah, if it shoots something that doesn't have fly, the Auspex Array, I think it's a 5-point upgrade.
So it's not a gunboat.
No, it's not.
I mean...
Well, you get twin assault cannons and 2 Storm Strike missile launchers base. You can upgrade the assault cannons to your last cannons. The Storm Strikes can turn into...
Does it have
Storm
hover?
Launchers. Yep, it can hover.
Okay. Alright, you'll be okay then.
And then
It is a flyer with toughness 7 and 14 wounds, like 3 of save. It's a beefy flyer.
We've got the Infernum... actually, let's see here. Okay, yeah, the Auspex Array or the Halo Launcher. Auspex Array is reroll hit rolls of 1 for a model with an Auspex Array when targeting an enemy in the shooting phase that can't fly. Or your other option is you can reroll save rolls of 1 for this model if it's equipped with an Infernum Halo Launcher and it has the supersonic ability.
So you lose supersonic when you go to hover.
Right, but if you're up in the air, you can reroll save rolls of 1.
Not bad.
I don't know, you can go either way. I typically go Auspex Array.
Oh, it's one or the other?
It's one or the other on that.
Oh.
What would your choice be? I've never actually asked you. Nothing's changed here. It's just this is an opinion piece. And a chance to drink water.
I would take the Infernum Halo Launcher because I can probably fly close enough to a captain for the reroll ones anyway.
Right.
I'm more of a defensive player anyway. I'd rather myself not die and then try to maximize my killing potential after that fact.
And yeah, so when you're up in the air. And then the other thing too, people have been wondering, this still cannot transport Primaris models. It can transport regular guys, jump packs, Terminators, and bikes, but they can't figure out how to get a Primaris in there.
They're too big. They're half a foot taller.
Yeah, but you can put a bike in there. Okay, so we're going to look at the armory for the Deathwatch now. Again, we're going to kind of talk about the changes here. There isn't much. We got the Hellfire Flamer that we already talked about for Artemis. Wounds on 2s now. Cool. If I flip over here's an interesting one. Your Stalker Pattern Bolt Gun. 30-inch range, heavy 2, strength 4, 1 damage. It uses a special ammunition. It now has a built-in -1 AP. It didn't before. That's a 4-point weapon.
Heavy 2, 30-inch range, and it can use, right?
100% uses special issue ammunition. So it was 4 points before. It's still 4 points, and now it's got a built-in -1 AP. So you fire it 36 inches away, it's AP -2. You fire it 24 inches away, it's AP -3. Or you fire the Hellfire out to 30-inch range, and it wounds on 2s, AP -1.
That's a pretty good gun.
And not bad for a 4-point weapon.
Yeah,
and
enough of those shots will do wounds to vehicles, no problem.
Right, and it's one of those, it's not limited to 1 per squad. You can take a whole squad of guys with these if you want.
This is very much an elite killing army.
Yeah.
But you're going to need those bikes to kill the Gribblies.
We flip over now, Hunter of the Alien, page 94. You've got your abilities here. Defenders of Humanity, it's the same objective secured, blah-de-blah we're used to. And then Mission Tactics, which is what they've added in. So units with this ability gain a bonus during the battle depending on the mission tactics they're currently employing. And you pick one. It's pretty simple here, folks. It's one of the battlefield rules. So fast attack, elites, heavy support, HQs, flyers, troops. And you reroll wound rolls of 1 against that for the entire game. So that means those Hellfire rounds, wounding on 2s, it's wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s. Against your chosen target. So I complained that there was not access to a lieutenant. Instead of the lieutenant, there's this. It's not as versatile as the lieutenant, but it's also army-wide. I can work with that.
That's pretty good. I need to go back a step.
Okay.
Bikers.
Yes.
Their twin bolt guns and their bikes use special issue ammunition.
Yeah. That's why I was laughing at the Stormbolter and...
Okay. Bikers.
Yeah.
Their bikes use special issue ammunition.
Well, they're just twin bolt.
Hold on. The bikers, their twin bolt guns use special ammunition.
Yes, they do. Special issue ammunition.
So I'm going to make an off-the-cuff comment here.
Okay.
And this may not be fact. Is this book better than Dark Angel, Reaver, and Deathwing in every way?
Do you know the point cost of that stuff off the top of your head? Because we're going to get to it in a second.
I know, but I mean, I'll pay 4 points more per bike. Are you kidding me?
I think it's only 2 points more per bike.
Well, price 2. Oh.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. We'll get there in a second, Stevie.
No, just when you brought me in.
No! I didn't think about this. That's not new for them.
This is my pain. That's not new?
They were the twin bolt guns. The access to the Sarge having some more equipment's new.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
And then, like I said, the mission tactic, when those bikes are zipping in shooting at their chosen target, you're wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s. Go away.
So if you were to play Deathwatch, for example,
yep.
And every biker you had came from the Raven Wing, that would be acceptable, right?
When you get some good Terminators that they jive with the teleport homers, right?
I might be playing some Deathwatch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We'll talk about the stratagems real quick. It's standard Space Marine ones. I don't know them, but you get your Armor Contempt. That is the Space Marine one. Auspex Scan. The Armory of the Watch Fortress. Yep. You have Hellfire Shells, which is your standard one when you're firing a Heavy Bolter profile or an Infernus Heavy Bolter. The one hit D3 mortal wounds. That's the Space Marine.
Yeah.
Orbital Compartment. And Pure Channeling. I don't know if this is a Space Marine one or not. It's one command point. Start of the psychic phase of Deathwatch Psyker from your armies within at least 6 inches of 2 other ones.
It is. It's Space Marine one.
Teleportarium. 1 to 3 command points. You can only use it once, but you're setting up units in reserve. Units of infantry or 1 Deathwatch Dreadnought. Instead of putting on the battlefield, and then they teleport in.
That's good.
So when we talk about your Inceptor squads, your veteran squads,
Dreadnoughts.
whatever it is, you can teleport them on down to the battlefield.
Oh, I like it.
That's pretty good. Now, the argument before is that your whole army could do it in 7th edition. You know what? You could do it with 3 squads. That's most of your army anyways. So
Yeah, well, that's Marine armies, right? And power armor armies.
yeah. There's Death to the Alien, which was in chapter approved. I think it's lame. It's that on a hit roll of 6 in close combat, you take an extra swing. I don't know, it might come in handy once in a blue moon. Standard Space Marine ones. You could adapt to tactics. So use the stratagem at the start of any of your turns after the first to change the current mission tactic for another one. And the mission tactic again is what you reroll wound rolls of 1. It's 2 command points, but it's only 1 you got a Watchmaster.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Excuse me. I'm gonna lean away from the mic, even though it's connected to my neck. So, I don't know why I leaned away.
We've got your. I think Games Workshop's already showed these off. Oh yeah, I know they have. The stratagems that are against each different Xenos race. So I think they're cool. They're flavorful. I don't know how useful they're going to be. First one is 2 command points against orcs. You use it immediately before firing Overwatch against a charging orc unit. And then your opponent subtracts 1 from their charge distance for each model in the charging unit that was slain by the unit's Overwatch fire.
Now that is one where if you're a Deathwatch player, probably you tell your orc players that you have that.
Yeah, don't be a jerk.
With all your frag cannons. So you're minus 20 to your 2-inch charge for the 10 remaining boys.
Sorry, I guess you can't charge.
Send the truck in first.
Well, so the argument is just make sure if you're Deathwatch, blow the truck up first.
Shut up.
Because that's the thing. You put your you put your minus AP3 bolters into that. Truck,
let the boys just walk at you.
Who cares? Okay, go ahead and charge more, player. I don't care. So I think just having that stratagem kind of allows you to change your playstyle ever so slightly.
Yeah.
To be like, no, I'm just going to take out your vehicles or your stuff that's going to charge and negate that. You know what? We don't need extra help against orc players right now, but we got it anyways.
That's funny.
Targeting scramblers, 1 command point. This is against Tau. Use this stratagem after a Deathwatch unit from your army has been hit by 1 or more Tau Empire marker lights. Immediately remove all marker light cannons from that unit. Just, no, go away.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I hit you with a marker light.
Yep.
I then spin a command point to add D3.
Yep.
Can you do you have to do it before or after I do my command point?
It's after hit.
It's immediately after hit, right?
Yeah.
But same as the Tau stratagem.
I guess active player would be the Tau one that chooses the order gets resolved in, I think.
I think so too, but I didn't want to be the guy arguing that. No, you have to spend yours first.
I think so.
Okay.
Intercepting volley, 2 command points. This is against any Eldari. And it's very specific. An Eldari unit that flies, if it ends its move within 12 of a Deathwatch unit.
That's so good.
Now, it's not an infantry unit. At first I thought it was just infantry, but it's the same like, hey, you got close to my repulsor with your thing that flies.
Blah.
I'm going to shoot at you for 2 command points. It's -1 to the resulting hit rolls.
Whatever. Whatever.
Sure. Bring in your, is it the Hemlock?
Yeah. Yeah, the Hemlock is...
So you fly up and I shoot you first.
It has an 18-inch range gun, but if you get too close... Yeah, if you get too close. But either way, you're going to go, send in the Wraith Blades to go charge some... Oh, no, they don't fly. It is Wraith Knight, actually.
I don't know.
But you have all your bikes, like the Shining Spear, all his Death Star spears is 12-inch range, right?
Yep.
Like he has to get close.
Cool, come close,
yeah.
I'll shoot you.
Bikes.
Bang, bang.
A lot of the scary things.
Yeah, so again, not the most useful, amazing thing in the world, but it might.
You'll make use of it when you need to.
Yep. Synaptic Severance, 2 command points, and I can use it in the shooting phase.
I believe it's pronounced Synaptic Severance.
I think that's what I said. That's how bad my pronunciation is. You can target Synapse characters, even if they're not the...
You can target Synapse characters.
Synapse. Even if they're not the closest enemy units. So I can snipe out your...
Synapse characters.
Yes, thank you.
I
was going to say tier to warriors.
Tier to warriors, Neurothropes.
The primes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The stuff that they're keeping kind of tucked away hidden to keep up their...
You use a Neurothrope. I hate that guy.
So you can shoot him in the face. With all those wounding on 2, rerolling 1 bolters.
Yeah.
Here's one I like because I hate Necrons, Luca. You use this stratagem at the beginning of your opponent's turn, 1 command point, before they use the reanimation protocol's ability of a Necron unit within 12 of the Deathwatch unit from the army. Your opponent subtracts 1 from any reanimation protocol rolls they make for that unit this turn. Just stay down, don't come back.
1 command point. So good.
Handy dandy. We jump over to the different doctrines, and this is, again, it's very similar to the mission tactic. It's 2 command points for each of these, and you pick an enemy battlefield roll, and you add 1 to the wound rolls for that attack, for Deathwatch units. So it doesn't even have to specifically have the tactic or anything like that, because not everything has mission tactics, I don't think.
So 2 command points, you can do multiple ones a turn, right? So it's like the first one is 2 command points, have 1 of your units, add 1 to the wound for a troop choice.
And that's, again, all Deathwatch units, not just the ones with mission tactics.
No. Use this stratagem just for a Deathwatch unit.
No, that's what I mean. Mission tactics is a special rule that only some units have.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, so a Land Raider doesn't have mission
I thought you were saying they all get to do it. So
no.
1 of your units gets +1 to wound 1 of their troops. But you can do it. You can do it to a troop.
Yeah.
It's a separate one for a fast attack. A separate one for elite. Separate for heavy support. Separate for HQ. Separate for flyer. So in 1 turn, you can have +1 to wound to 6 different unit types.
Sure.
Pretty good. I mean, it's gonna cost you a lot. It's gonna cost you all your command points, but +1 to wound. You know when those 10 Terminators drop down and you're firing their -3 bolt guns at the I don't know, toughness 7, 2-up armor save vehicle. You're winning on 4s.
Yep.
So it's like having, you know how Chaos, their Terminators can do that Marcus Lanesh shoot twice thing.
Yep.
But they can spend veterans along war and get +1 to wound.
Yes.
So everybody's Terminators are good except for the Imperiums.
Especially those Dark Ages.
They're the best.
So that's handy. I can see me using any of these commonly enough.
I like them.
It's the versatility.
Which I
that's
have.
what I get.
I like them.
You get the optimized salvo.
But let's be honest, it's 2 command points. Like it's not cheap. Yeah.
No. And I mean, it's an elite army. You're not going to have a ton of command points.
Like you got Chaos Space Marines with it's 2 for a phase, right?
Yeah. This is, I mean, you're not going to use this willy-nilly kind of just, I'm just going to feel like
There's a 1 for the phase.
You got to make these count. And that's what it feels like a lot of this book is. Like, it can do a lot of work, but you've got to make it count.
Sure, but that's how these, I think that's how they, that's how they should work. Yeah.
And that's what I like.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Optimized salvo, 1 command point. It's really before choosing targets for a Deathwatch unit with specialist ammunition. And different models can use different ammunition before any hit rolls are made.
Huh.
So if you want to, because normally I think the way it works is your squad needs to pick what ammunition they're using. So if you're split firing,
okay,
the command point, they're like, just whatever, use whatever ones you want, model per model basis. I'm happy enough with that.
I spend the 1 for it.
Because it was that awkward, like, oh, there's one guy over there I got to kill, then I want to shoot one guy over that way and give, wound on 2 so he dies, but then I also want to shoot the rest of the squad with something else. A vehicle that's not going to make use of that 2 to wound ammunition.
This book seems anti-Tyranid.
In a couple different ways, yeah.
Next one, Decapitation Doctrine. 2 command points. Use a stratagem for a Deathwatch unit from your army. Attacks in the shooting or fight phase until the end of the phase. Reroll to wound made by... for attacks made by the unit that attacks enemy Warlord. You're going to get that flying down. Or if your Warlord is the narrow throat.
Well, the same thing, if you look at the Severance one, that's a Deathwatch unit. So you get your Land Raider sitting there with his las cannons. And
you're right.
It's not just,
you can just go ahead and... If you don't have character protection on your big Warlord, they're going to like them. So who has big monstrous Warlords? Tyranids. Is that it?
I think it's just Tyranids right now.
Wow.
But yeah, still, you can
either way
beat them up pretty bad.
You're going to get them if you want
them. Tactical flexibility is just the split squad up, combat squad thing.
Yeah. I don't know why that should be free. I don't know why that costs you points.
Tempest Shells, here's an interesting one. 1 command point, use a stratagem for a Deathwatch infantry model from your army. Attacks a vehicle with a weapon that can fire specialist ammunition. You only make a single hit roll, but if you do, it's D3 mortal wounds. Which I guess you could combine with your Hellfire Shells.
What's Hellfire?
Hellfire is the when you fire a heavy bolter, and you make a single hit roll and it's D3 mortal wounds. So you just have somebody in the squad with a heavy bolter go bang, and somebody with a
no special
bang.
issue.
That's no. What I'm saying is, if you've got one guy in the squad with a heavy bolter and then another guy in the squad with a bolt pistol, they can both shoot at that vehicle to do more runs to it on hit rolls.
Yep, that's pretty good.
For one command point, just go any bolt weapon. We're going to load up the special ammunition that costs a command point, and bang, I hit you D3 mortal wounds.
That's pretty good. All of them.
Single hit rolls. Now, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Tempest Shells doesn't say you don't do the rest of the damage, right? You make a single hit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's implied. Like it's.
I think so. Read it though. I don't think the bolter gets.
Yeah, because the target suffers. You don't get the bolter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The target suffers D2 mortal wounds. Yeah.
Flip the page and let's talk about Warlord traits.
Anything good in here? Anything stand out?
Lord of Hidden Knowledge is probably what you're going to see used the most.
Oh, it's a command point. Get back one.
Yep. And
5+ get command point back.
You're probably going to do that.
It's going to be the one to use every time.
There's one you can re-roll when attacking. Re-roll failed wound rolls against vehicles or monsters. Meh.
No.
Castellan of the Black Vault. Add one to the damage characteristic of one weapon carried by your Warlord.
Free Vigilance Incarnate. Change your mission tactic once per turn. No, I take the Hidden Knowledge instead. I take the command point back. And just spend the
Watch Eternal is a 6-up feel no pain. 6-up on the last. A 6-up feel no pain on the last wound for guys within 6.
You make one 5-up roll, get your command point back, and you've exactly made the Vigilance Incarnate value. Because it costs 1 to change it, right?
Yeah, it costs 1 to change it.
Yeah, that's it. I don't like when there's one auto include. This is the one you use. I don't like that.
I argue maybe like if you wanted to build a very specific guy, maybe you could do Castellan of the Black Vault, but I don't think there's a reason to.
Nah, not on.
So bleh. We're gonna talk about the relics. You've got the Bane bolts of how do you say that one, Stevie?
Where? Urxia.
There you go. Models with special issue ammunition only. Add 1 to the damage of any special issue ammunition fired by the bearer. In addition, each wound roll is 6-up. Does a mortal wound in addition to your normal.
Oh, that's not bad. But
so you could have. We were talking like you could have your captain with a mastercrafted bolter, firing
3
moving
damage.
6, firing 30 inches away, and then doing 3 damage. AP minus 2.
2, yeah, or 3 at sometimes.
If you get close.
Yep.
Kind of cute. Beacon and Jealous is the one that we had in the chapter approved. And that's the teleporting one. So once per battle at the end of your movement phase, the bearer can use the beacon to teleport a friendly unit to its position. When he does so, select a Deathwatch infantry or biker unit that's already on the battlefield. That's either on the battlefield or in the teleportarium. In either case, remove the unit and set it up wholly within 6 of the bearer, more than 9 away from any models. So that means, if you've got your... Like, let's say you've got your captain with a jump pack, and he's got this. He can jump up, and that Terminator squad that's sitting in the teleportarium, they can teleport to him, and I think this is the only way right now that you can bring something in from reserve.
Reinforcement.
Or reinforcement, whatever it might be, out of your deployment zone turn 1.
Why can this do that?
Actually, how would that work?
I don't think you can. No, you can't.
The argument is you just deploy the squad on the battlefield and then...
Then you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't commit a reinforcement. But yeah, you put them on the battlefield and you can do it. You can do that, right? Yeah. So if they're on the battlefield, you can do it. To his position, though.
Yeah.
So he has to...
Again, it's not a great relic.
He has to really run. Can you get a bike? Can you get a jump pack?
Yeah. The characters can get jump packs.
All right, so you can deploy on your edge, move 12, hope for a decent run.
Yep.
And then you have somebody drop in.
So the way that I've seen...
How close do they have to be?
Within 6.
The unit has to be within 6?
And
wholly within 6. So you can be 6s in front of them, but plus the width of your base.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get turn 1 charges with this.
Yep.
Yeah. I read through them all real quick, and I think that's the one I'd use the most, I think.
Yeah. See, the other one that people are using that for is just to teleport your Hellblaster squad close to him and just vape something.
Yep. Have him run forward, Hellblasters.
Or your whatever kill teams now of your crazy
Wait a
special
minute.
ammunition bolters, if you want to get them close turn 1, there's a way to do it.
Hellblasters and aggressors, it'll count as if they moved for the aggressors.
Yep.
But Hellblasters and aggressors, anything that can get your aggressors up the field fast, repulsors don't cut it. So Raven Guard love them. This is going to be for aggressors.
Yep.
And Hellblasters, because let's be honest, they're amazing too.
The Dominus Aegis is a Storm Shield, 3 pinball. If he doesn't move the movement phase, everybody within 6, Deathwatch models within 6, gain a 5 of pinball.
Deathwatch models?
Yeah, not just, so vehicles can get it too. Now you can't make a proper parking lot.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you're right. So whatever. Meh.
The key.
So,
Watchmasters only. Enemy vehicles subtract 1 from the hit rolls if they're within 9 of them. Each time he fights, makes an additional attack with the key against vehicles within an inch, and if it hits, it's D3 mortal wounds.
I mean, fighting dreadnought stuff, great. I'd rather not fight a dreadnought with a character though, who want to squash you.
Yeah, your chapter master. No.
Yeah.
The Thief of Secrets. It's power sword. That's 2 damage. And when you're set up, you pick Orc, Tyranid, Tau, Eldari, or Necrons, and you reroll failed wound rolls when attacking enemy units with that keyword.
Yeah, exactly.
The Tome. At the start of each of your turns, pick a mission tactic. Until the start of your next turn, you can choose to apply either the effects of the mission tactic that's currently active or the mission tactic from the book to any Deathwatch unit from your army within 6.
I don't know. It'll be hard to really keep that in the position you want it to be in, but it might have some use. It is not going to be as good as the Beacon and Jealous.
No, I think the Beacon's probably still going to be the choice.
Yep.
There's maybe some funny stuff you can do with the Bane bolts, but nothing that's going to really make a big difference. It's just going on your board. You know, you want to spend an extra command point to get an extra relic, maybe.
Yeah.
Your Librarian's Discipline is the standard one.
Yep.
Your tactical objectives. Okay, there's something here. So one of them's Dominate. Victory point at the end of the turn if you control the objective marker that was closest to the enemy Warlord when you generate this. The Long Vigil. Roll a d6. Score 3 points if you control the corresponding objective marker at the end of 3 consecutive turns.
Yeah, these are never that interesting.
No, not really. Score 1 victory point if you destroy at least 1 enemy unit this turn. If the last model was killed by a unit of veterans or intercessors, you get D3.
Yeah,
These
sure.
ones for killing characters, party target. They're not that special.
Yeah.
So then we talk about point costs. So I've got the changes here written down.
Changes to index or changes to Space Marine comparisons?
Both.
Nice.
Because you get to use 4 different books when you're playing Deathwatch before. No, I think it was 3. Your veterans, your standard veterans went from 19 points to 16.
Okay.
Your bikers went from 34 points to 25. Yeah, I forgot they got cheaper. Your Terminators went from 32 to 31. And your Vanguard vets went from 21 to 18. So there's point drops across the board. It is offset by the fact that your bolt pistol, your Absolver bolt pistol, your auto bolt rifle, your bolt carbine, your bolt pistol, your bolt rifle, your bolt gun, your combi weapons, they all went up by about a point. Like all your standard bolt weapons went up by a point. So like a bolt pistol didn't cost you points before, but now it costs you 1. Which kind of makes sense. I like that because that was my big complaint before because it felt like you were paying a tax for special ammunition, but if you swap their weapon, you're still paying the tax. That doesn't happen anymore.
So forget the Terminators, just use bikers.
Yeah.
Doing the math on them right now? No. 29 points a bike with the twin bolt gun?
Your
So good.
Deathwatch frag cannon. Yeah, because your twin bolt gun went from 2 points to 4 points.
That makes sense.
Your frag cannon went from 30 points to 25. Good. Your Deathwatch shotgun went from 5 points to 3 points. Good. I can use my shotguns again. Because before, so a guy with a shotgun now would cost you what, 19 points? Before he was 24. It's a nice little drop. Your Infern's heavy bolter got cheaper, but it's still trash in my opinion.
The bikers also have 2 attacks.
Yeah, they're veterans, and look at their leadership.
Yeah, 8 and 9. You can have a chainsword. Are the bikers the big winner in this book?
They might be.
Give them a chainsword. Chainsword, I'm assuming, is free.
Chainswords are still free, yeah.
Okay, so 25 points a bike, 4 points from bolt gun, 29 points. How big can you make the unit?
Up to 6.
Oh, okay, that's the thing. Either way, I take maximum 6 every time. So, oh man. 174 points for 6 of them with a stupid amount of shots that are going to kill Elite, Gribblies. I just have, you know, every fast attack slot filled with 6 units of bikes.
Yep. Your Stormbolter, there's a point cost difference between vehicles and other models now.
I'm sorry, it's going to be 178 points because you give a Stormbolter to the Sergeant.
Yes. And that's Deathwatch book.
It's the We Got Better Bikers Than Everybody Else book.
The bikes are pretty good. See, the bikes were pretty good before, but now they're a lot cheaper.
Whew!
I didn't actually realize they got that.
So you're not getting 2 plasma or melta guns per 3 or per squad. You're not getting that, but I don't care. I will trade that for everybody with special ammunition. Everything wounding on 2s or everything with an AP.
Yep. AP and a bonus on
that's really good. Like, I like the Terminator thing, but the bikes are better.
Yep. Your bikes are solid. That was a pretty huge point drop on them too, though.
34 to 29.
Yep. No, it's 25. 25 per.
34 to 25. 9-point drop.
Well, but technically,
and special issue ammunition.
More, so it's like a 7-point drop.
Okay. Special issue ammunition, twin bolt guns. Everybody can take a power sword, chain fist. Sorry, chain sword, bolt pistol, power sword, power maul, or power axe. So I'd probably throw a couple of them in.
Can take the power weapons. I think.
No, I just said everybody.
Is it everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'd give them all chain swords though.
Yeah, might as well because they're free.
18 attacks, 19 attacks because the sergeant, 19 attacks going in.
Flying into something.
4 shots per bolt or per biker, 8 for the sergeant.
Okay, so let's talk about some weird.
174 points and 178 points.
Because I want your opinion on this. Let's say instead of taking a bike squad, you're going to take a troop choice.
Okay.
Okay. And follow me on this one. See if we can get it. You have got your squad of regular veterans. And you take, let's say, 4 bikes. So you're 5 vets and then 4 bikes and a Vanguard vet. You combat squad them. So you've got 4 bikes driving around with a Vanguard vet. That squad can now fall back and still charge, and fall back and still shoot every turn.
I don't really care about fall back and charging.
But
fall back and shoot.
Because you've got a Vanguard vet in there, so that he gives that rule to that little 5-man squad. And he doesn't slow them down that much.
Yeah, 2 inches.
And now they can fall back and shoot every turn, and fall back and charge every turn. Is that
how many points are you going to spend on that 5-man squad? So you're looking at, sorry, it was 24.
Now you won't be able to give a Stormbolter to anybody in there.
No, I know that. But it's 25. 25, so 29.
100 points for the bikes.
No, 116.
Oh yeah, because the twin bolt guns.
And how many points is the Vanguard vet?
Vanguard vet is 18 points. And you give him a bolt pistol chainsword, I think is the cheapest combination. 135
points. You're going to get 16 shots with special ammunition.
And
fall back and shoot. Yeah, sure. 100 and whatever shot. Or 17 shots. 134 points. Good mobility. Toughness 5. Looking at only 9 wounds.
Oh yeah, because it's majority toughness too.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I mean, honestly, if you look at your point list, a lot of people don't charge, or you can stay far enough away where you're not going to get charged. But no, I would do it because I have my bike charged plenty of times. Fall back.
It gives you the option to. Oh. Or that if your bikes get caught out of position and they do get charged, well, who cares? I'm going to fall back and still shoot you.
Okay, so
and then charge something else because that's going to just increase their mobility. Oh man, like I am not where I want to be right now. I'm going to fall back, shoot you on the way out.
Yep.
And then charge something else that's 12 inches away.
Yep. Oh, because the bikes can fall back and charge.
Bikes can fall back and charge, yeah. Deathwatch bikes can.
Yeah. So what I've learned from this book is it's pretty good. Now, honestly, I'll have to see how you build your list, right? Because if you have 7 models on the field, all the special rules in the world aren't great if your points are so high.
Right.
Bikes seem cheap enough to the point where 1 Dark Age Army for sale. No, I'm kidding. I'm keeping the Army forever. But, yeah.
So you think bikes would be one of this book?
Well, here's the thing. I'm very, very biased, right? I like bikes and Terminators.
Yep.
That's the Dark Angel thing, right? The Terminators are really cool with the Stormbolters getting special ammunition. Like, let's be honest, that's amazing.
Yep.
Bikes with special issue ammunition, like 15-inch rapid fire range.
Yep.
Like, It's amazing, and they're cheap. They're cheap. They're cheap. They're cheap as everybody else's bikes.
They're T5, and they've got
Rapid Fire 2. Clear winner on the bikes today. Now you're not gonna advance and get a 4-up invuln. You're not getting it. Sorry, that's for the good biker guys.
You get a 4-up invuln if you advance.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. You're just gonna kill stuff instead. There's nothing in advance. We'll just shoot stuff up.
No, it's better. I just shoot them.
So, my impression as a Deathwatch player is I'm happy with the book.
It looks pretty good. I'm not calling it broken by any sense of the
no. You'd argue that maybe they could have added more stuff in, but I like the fact that they've kept it pretty true to what it was before. They've adjusted some point costs. They've made the Primaris a very valid option, but not a must include.
I hate the book. I hate it. I hate the book. I think it's not fair.
Well, there you go. Here's our review of our first impressions of the Deathwatch book. Pretty excited to sink my teeth into it and add some new stuff to my army, but not that much.
Yeah, I gotta paint a bunch of silver arms on my bikers.
Yeah. Well, you can take the little Vanguard detachment.
Yeah.
Just a ton of bikers.
They're all better now.
Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. Keep watching the channel. We're going to be covering Deathwatch as much as we can in the next little while. I'll hopefully be able to get a good chunk of games in.
I'll get some in for you.
The Raven Wing are already black, right?
Yep.
and the silver paint covers black pretty well.
Yep. I was going to dry brush some silver on them, pop off the left shoulder pads.
You could just probably paint a little Inquisition.
I'm going to.
Inquisition eye on them.
I got a whole new army today.
Hopefully folks enjoyed that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome, and happy wargaming.